coming together with pride and purpose.
Today I can say with a lot of pride that I am a gay man.
Now more than ever, finding the path to acceptance and respect has never been more crucial for the LGBTQ community.
What we're seeing in a number of other states is absolutely heartbreaking.
But hope over heartbreak is what Pride Month is all about, as love for one's true self turns confusion.
Am I even a human being?
Into clarity.
Just to know that like so many people support us and to show that we're here is a great feeling.
Tonight we help celebrate the strong voices and soaring spirits.
Love is a great thing, and I think everyone should celebrate.
This is a CBS 13 special celebrating Pride Month. See us.
Hello, and thank you for being with us as we celebrate Pride Month here at CBS 13. I'm Elizabeth Kling.
And I'm Tony Lopez. We have a lot of incredible stories for you this half hour, so settle in. These are stories that we hope will help open up conversations as well as hearts and minds. California is one of the best states in the country for the LGBTQ community. That's according to the Human Rights Campaign.
One main reason our state has that title, the laws we have in place to combat discrimination in the LGBTQ community.
Some of the biggest protections: it's illegal for employers, landlords, businesses, healthcare providers, and insurers to discriminate against anyone or treat them unequally because of their sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, or sex.
Public schools in California are also required to teach about the history of the LGBTQ community. And transgender students can use the restroom that matches their gender identity.
And the state marked a first in the country when it started requiring police officers undergo mandatory sensitivity training on LGBTQ issues. California, of course, the first state to legalize domestic partnerships between same-sex couples. That was in 1999. And it was also one of the first to allow same-sex marriages in 2008.
But it didn't last long. Just 5 months later, voters approved Prop 8, a ban on same-sex marriage, which was later overturned in court.
The first gay pride parade ever permitted in the world back in June of 1970 in Los Angeles, leading to scenes like this year's Sacramento's Pride March and Festival across the country and world.
But it's what happened at New York City's Stonewall Inn back in 1969 where Pride began, when the LGBTQ community took a stand, fighting back against police who routinely raided the Greenwich Village bar. Throwing stones and bottles at officers, they launched the battle for gay rights. Before the riots, homosexuality was mostly forced underground.
It's those brave men and women who directly and indirectly sparked change, inspiring people like Harvey Milk, who was elected San Francisco city supervisor in 1977. Milk fought anti-gay initiatives and ultimately sponsored a bill banning discrimination against gay people, especially when it came to housing and employment. His bill passed 11-1 and was signed into law by Mayor George Moscone. Sadly, Moscone and Milk were shot and killed by Dan White, the former county supervisor who had cast the only vote against the bill. Milk was the first openly gay man to be elected to public office in the state, and his truth was a dangerous one at the time. It's a truth former West Sacramento Mayor Chris Cabaldon says he knew about himself for years, but like so many, was afraid of what would happen if he came out, especially while in office.
The fear that everybody in my life would turn their back on me and reject me, that I would lose the chance to keep making my community better. It was terrifying.
But instead of fear, Cabaldon let his faith in the community he served prevail, coming out publicly in his annual State of the City address. Here's CBS 13's Marley Ginter.
For West Sacramento, this was a huge, huge step.
Christopher Cabaldon, a pioneer for West Sacramento, but there's more to the city's longest-serving mayor than his accomplished career.
And I hope that by coming out directly, openly, and publicly,
in his 2006 State of the City address, he carved his name, coming out as the city's first gay mayor.
And it was a big story at the time. It was a huge story at the time. I got a lot of emails and notes from constituents, from people in City Hall, and people all around the world saying, this gave me the courage. I never thought that somebody in politics could do this.
When you decided to finally take that leap, it was 2006. Times were so different then. Were you terrified?
Terrified is exactly the right word.
Cabaldon didn't mince words when he sat down with me, talking about the speech that made national headlines and the days, nights, and years leading up to it.
When you have this one secret, even if that's the only secret you have, a couple of things happen. One is it compounds into all kinds of other secrets, because you can't isolate one strand of your life, and it starts to interact with everything else. And then you find that you can't get out of it, because you've told all these you've created all of this story of who you are that depends on this one lie. But how do you unravel that without unraveling everything else about you too?
It was a struggle Cabaldon had learned to live with and deny even to himself.
Like, I'm still hoping, maybe one more year and I won't be gay anymore. Or maybe this will go away. If I don't tell it to anybody else and I don't say it out loud to myself, maybe it'll go away. But partly because there's nobody in politics or public service that is. Every time I would see somebody say, I'm the mayor of such and such a city and I'm gay, the very next sentence would always be, and I'm resigning effective Tuesday. It was always part of a scandal.
So he denied it to himself, pretended to everyone else, and played the role of what he thought a mayor should look like.
Because I was in the closet, I was always very careful to be very professional, be exactly what a mayor is supposed to be, put my tie on just on Sunday to go pick up a gallon of milk. I gotta look and be the part all the time.
Do you think that you being a prominent figure, a community leader, do you think that made it harder or easier to come out?
Both, both, right? So the stakes were incredibly high for me, because it was because everything in my life and my identity and my work all depended, and if it went badly, the entire world was going to know.
But the world, and more importantly, his city, didn't disappoint. And once it was out, there was no going back. And for Cabaldon, it lit a fire.
When I was no longer trying to be like everybody else and be like every other mayor that wasn't gay. Once it wasn't that I was trying to gay up the city. It was just now I can let my mind and my mind run wild about ideas of the things that we could do.
Were there reactions where people just told you flat out, we're not talking to you anymore, you're not a part of our lives anymore? Did you get that negative reaction?
Oh sure. In 2006, anywhere, and you got to remember, West Sacramento is. It's a very different place than it was back then. All the people who lived there then we're still all here, but we've changed a lot.
There's no denying Cabaldon transformed his city. He left his mark. But as for paving the way for the LGBTQ community, that's a breakthrough that he says still needs work.
You can't take for granted that the progress that we've made is going to stay. And also, there's so many places, institutions and families and communities in which it's still unsafe to be your authentic self.
Such an important message for so many to hear.
And I think part of being that authentic self is the fact that he was elected time and time again, because people could see that he was just being a real person, true to himself. Before Cabaldon came out, by the way, there were only 3 openly gay mayors in the country at the time.
Of course, members of the LGBTQ community still face harassment and hate. Just recently, we told you about a woman who lives in Sacramento's Midtown who had her pride flag stolen. She says ever since then, she's been on edge, worried she'll be targeted for her sexual orientation.
Also this month, a storytelling event in Alameda County with drag queen Panda Dulce interrupted by a group of men. The sheriff's office, they're saying they're likely associated with the Proud Boys, and they shouted homophobic and transphobic slurs.
Of course, we will never forget the Pulse nightclub shooting when a gunman walked into the Orlando gay bar in June of 2016, shooting and killing 49 people. The massacre spurring Sacramento police to hold active shooter training at Faces nightclub in downtown Sacramento. The LGBTQ community no strangers to discrimination, but a 2020 survey shows LGBTQ people of color are more likely to encounter discrimination in a variety of settings.
36% say they avoid places like stores and restaurants in order to avoid discrimination. 44% say discrimination has affected their ability to rent or purchase a home. And 24% of LGBTQ people of color reported some sort of discriminatory treatment from a doctor or healthcare provider. Those are just some of the things a local LGBTQ community center hopes to eradicate.
The Marsha P. Johnson Community Center is strategically located in South Sacramento to serve Black and brown LGBTQ members. It's named after a drag queen who took part in the Stonewall riots. The second you walk in the door, you're greeted with a mural painted by a local artist with people of color and Florin and Mack Road street signs. The center provides sexual and gender health needs and can also connect people with mental health therapies. But most of all, it's a safe space for those who may not be accepted by the community they grew up in.
It is really important to serve those who are the most marginalized, those who have the hardest time to receive services, maybe those who have had the hardest time in lives. Maybe they've been thrown out of their houses by their parents. Maybe they've been told that being LGBT is not acceptable.
As we mentioned, California is a leader in the country when it comes to protecting the rights of LGBTQ people, solidifying itself as a sanctuary state.
CBS 13's Laura Hafley has more with local leaders on the legislative fight to defend the LGBTQ community locally and beyond.
After hurting her back playing sports, Alexis Sanchez was able to see a doctor as a transgender woman.
I'm not going to minimize the effect of being able to access gender-affirming health care.
Now, Sanchez, a born and bred Californian, is fighting to ensure that right for all.
It's life-saving.
As the director of advocacy for the capital city's LGBT center, Sanchez has a direct line of access to the legislature.
So there's been a variety of bills, both big and small, that really provide protection.
As states like Idaho and Texas work to pass bills that take children away from parents because of gender-affirming surgeries, hormone therapy, and transgender care, California's Senate Bill 923 protects them, preventing California courts from recognizing any out-of-state court judgment against those families.
If they're fleeing from Idaho and they come to California, this bill would not extradite them. It would not press charges. It would create it so that they know that they have a safe haven where they can come to.
And California has a history of protecting LGBT members. Governor Gavin Newsom issued marriage licenses for same-sex couples when he was mayor of San Francisco in 2004. The state of California legalized gay marriage in 2013, 2 years before the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to do the same. The chair of the state's LGBT caucus says they'll continue to lead the way.
What we're seeing in a number of other states is absolutely heartbreaking within school curriculum. In Florida and saying the Don't Say Gay legislation. Contrast that to California, in which we are talking about the type of curriculum that is inclusive.
Can you guarantee to the LGBT community and beyond that California will always be a safe space?
California is proud to understand our obligation to the country in being a sanctuary state for all LGBT individuals.
Coming up.
When you remember your why and why you're doing the work, you know that there's people out there who really need this.
A renewed sense of purpose. This Pride Month, the local advocate normalizing conversations about coming out and mental health.
And connecting the LGBTQ community in more ways than one. How a crosswalk led to major steps in the formation of a new neighborhood. Now let's have the Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus sing us to break.